Hello everyone, welcome to another video. As I invite you to join me on this little adventure of, I think it's gonna be a bit of a final touch of the Bob Town, but I might do another video after this because I don't know how fast I can build this. And there's also a bunch of decorating that I kind of want to do. I might do the decorating without recording it and just give a bit of an overview of it at the start of the next video. But for now, I'm gonna do a little bit of a build here. So this is Bob's Town. I'm Wibbert. I'm not Bob, but whatever. This is one of my builds. And at the start of this build, I'm just gonna look at some of the statistics of the city. We have a total workforce of 36,000 and a total jobs, if I do some quick math, that adds up to 35,000. So we kind of need about 1,600 more jobs, but that's not a whole lot of jobs. And I was just looking at this video for a while before starting this recording and thinking about things I want to add to this city as it looks right now. I was thinking of just doing a bunch of farms over here and maybe something that looks a bit like this, and over here I was thinking maybe I can just add a couple more blocks or something. But at some point they're gonna be pretty far from the train station, which is over here, I believe. Yeah. The RUPS stands for rural, urban. I don't know. It made sense when I knew what it stands for. Regional, urban. I don't know. Maybe it says so over here, because this is all part real side. RUPS. Yeah, it doesn't give the full name here, so I don't know what it stands for. It was something rural. Oh, look at that, some big offices are growing here already, which is kind of what I was aiming for. And as you can see here, there's a bit of a traffic jam. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, so the game is a bit laggy. That's a pretty chunky amount of people using the car in this direction. Of course, what you could consider as an upside or a downside, these stations also have parking facilities, so you could say that's an upside. Oh, wow, that's at capacity actually. This is, I believe, one big one, and then this is the other one. So the big one is at capacity, and this, well, it's capacity for, I'm not sure if this is talking about the capacity for parking or for trains, or maybe both, but it's a bit full. I don't know what's going on with the traffic. I do believe I have a mod for the cars and stuff to be more consistent, so they don't despawn unless they've traveled a bunch. And I think what we're looking at here is a crossing that's just bugging out, so that causes this traffic to be super derped. So I don't think that's really a problem with the city, it's just a problem with the simulator being a bit derpy. And it looks like the catenaries are a bit glitched when you zoom out, because you see these yellow and green dots instead of the catenaries. So I might just remove the whole catenary thing altogether. Although I am using electrified trains, and I don't know what these little green things are. Sometimes you just see those, and I guess you can imagine that they're like maintenance things, but that would be a whole lot of maintenance. And just like that, I've already been talking for I guess it's been maybe 5 or 10 minutes without doing anything, and I'm doing a live build, so it's kind of important that I don't waste too much time just talking. So there's a couple of things that I have planned. On one hand, I do want to continue some farms over around here, maybe just a small triangle or something like that. But I also, because in the previous town that I built, it's called Prelude, or Prelude, I don't know how to pronounce it. It was, the name was inspired by an area in Romania, which was pretty close to where the Dracula castle is, and well, I started the previous city with a bit of a Halloween contest build, where we were challenged to yeah, make a build that was themed around Dracula's house or castle. So that's why I used yeah, a real life name there. I tend to not do real life names because it might confuse people into thinking that I'm doing a real life recreation, or a recreation of something that exists in real life, and I'm just using some of my creativity to make these designs. I think actually what I'll do here, because there's a bit of commercial area over here, I might do a little bit of a triangle of commercial over there. And yeah, so I'm not being super coherent in my thoughts right now. It's still morning for me, and I'm putting these diagonals down because what I'm planning to also do is, okay, I guess I have to put it like that. Ooh, that derped out. Okay, I'll fix that later. I'll fix it later. Yeah, so in the previous town, which is kind of what I started my thought with. In the previous town, Prelude, I think I'll make this something like this. I did some diagonal wall-to-wall houses, and I thought it might look cool to have some of that over here as well, because yeah, it creates a bit of a consistency between different regions. In general, when you have a couple of cities nearby each other, there's also a very high chance that some of the architectural aspects and historical aspects of one town can be seen reflected in some of the buildings in the next town over. So I thought maybe it would look cool to do something like that, but then I remembered also that the way I previously built the diagonal system felt a bit cramped in how their backyards looked, and I thought maybe it's nice to, as I'm derping around with these rotations, okay, I'm just gonna use a smaller piece and maybe fix it like that. Yes, I just wanted it to connect to give a bit of an extra axis. I'm using shift tab to go back to the taller piece. I think this looks about the same width, but it might be like that. Yeah, so you can't do the trick where you measure things with diagonals, because normally you can like measure how long a road is by just dragging. For instance, if I want to know how long this road is, I just pick the same road tool and I just measure it like that, and then it says $70. So if you know that a road is $10 a piece, then you can conclude that it's 7 blocks. But knowing that it's 7 blocks doesn't really mean anything, because you're still gonna have to be counting blocks. But you can just look at the price when you drag the next bit, and then you see, hey, it's also 70, so you know it's the same length. So that's basically how I use that trick, but you can't do that with diagonals because they're a bit more tricky to place. I think I want a connection over there. And last time I had some trouble connecting the street with this network widening bit, but that was because I was connecting it to a diagonal. And this time I'm not doing that. So I'm giving these some extra area, extra space in the middle. And I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that extra space. Because I'm just gonna pause the game and do some zoning. Because the diagonal things will... I'm just gonna do a bunch of random zoning. The modder recommended that you did like an alternating pattern of directions for these 1x1s. And just for experiment's sake, I'll do one without alternating and one with alternating, and I'll just look at... okay. The problem is that you kinda need to know, really you need to hit Alt, so it can be a bit annoying. Because you use Alt to toggle the different rotation, but the corners are a bit tricky with that. But these are alternating now. Yeah, okay, so this is perfectly alternating. This is just the basic rotations that they had. And we'll see which one looks best. They have the exact same shape, so I did eyeball it correctly. But this area in the middle, I'm not sure what to do with that. I could just put a bunch of plants in there. I could look for some things to simulate backyards or whatever. Last time I used some parks. I believe it was like the community gardens to simulate backyards. But of course they are not diagonal. So it might have looked a bit weird. I could use the one without fences and just make a bit of community garden. But maybe I'll make something with a path and maybe some shops in here or something. Or a bit of a gazebo in the center. It's not really a good center. This is like the most central spot, I guess. But it's a bit... yeah, it's like over there if you look at the mouse. Yeah, so I don't know yet how I'm gonna fill it up. This area is gonna be commercial stuff. But how I do want to make this is that if you look at a bit of street, I do want both sides of the street to be consistent in terms of type of zoning. So I don't know if that's realistic or not, but that's just how I'm choosing to build this. So I'm doing this. Yeah, I just started alternating without thinking about it. So I'm just gonna continue the alternating, yeah, whatever. Yeah, if I place residential here, it's gonna be facing this street, because the street, there's like a priority system where, this is a road by the way, this is a street. There's a priority system where streets have lower capacity, so the game tends to think that you would prefer zones facing a street, because then they would be less likely to cause traffic issues. I could delete the road and then place it, but I'm just gonna maybe fill it out with some decorations, and it might not make sense to be living next to a road anyways, because if you have like kids and stuff, you want them to be able to play freely without having to to worry about them stepping out of the backyard directly onto a busy road. So, and that problem might still be at the ones that I'm zoning now. So I held Alt here, but it turned the same direction as that one, and I think that's because I don't know how the directions are prioritized, but I guess there's like a table for each yeah, for like northeast, southwest or whatever, and it just moves along the directions in a certain order. So for instance, it might have north as the first one zone tries to connect towards, and then if that's not available it would go maybe east, I don't know. But it seems that it first looks at priority and then it might go into that determined priority sequence, I guess is what you might call it. Oh, yeah, that one derped out because it's not really... Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that empty. So let's assume that this is gonna be like that. I'll probably do some more houses here. I might do another bunch of blocks here, maybe extend this one and just leave a bit of a triangle over there. But I'll look at that later. First, I want to also think about this area. I could just do a bunch of small shops here, but maybe it's nice to have a bit of a park area next to the water. And this one looked like it was glitching out. Yeah, but why would it be glitching out? It should be perfectly flat around here. So let's just fix that for a bit. Because I do believe I flattened this whole area. But I also remember that at some point I may have derped out the land a bit. Okay, let's see if this fixes it. And I might just be a bit too much of a stickler when it comes to these kind of little glitches, but I think I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but it just looks better now. So over here, maybe not next to the rail, I don't know. I think I want a bit of a fence over here then, if it's gonna continue all the way down. But something that is a bit of a recreational area maybe. And I think I want to use some of the custom parks that I have. So I'm just gonna scroll all the way down. I'm not gonna make a campsite again, because that doesn't really make sense in this location, and there's all these things for the spam. I think I just have way too many. Oh, these actually belong with these things, I believe. I'm not sure how it's supposed to fit. And the grass looks a bit weird on those. I don't know why a diagonal would have an orthogonal fence. I do think the fence looks kinda nice. Yeah, I'll maybe play around with those at some point. So there's this, which is a transition from like a sidewalk kind of decoration into a park decoration. I might not do the sidewalk thing here. I did that a couple of times already. I think I'll just do something. I'll be looking for something that is a gate. I don't know if there's just a gate that doesn't. Yeah, that's the transition that I was just looking at. And of course there's a bunch of transitions with wide and narrow paths and stuff like that. I'm just gonna wait. Bicycle parking 2x2, 1x3. I wonder what this looks like, and whether I could use it. Yeah, I can't really use that, but it looks very nice. Could that fit in? No, not really. The diagonals might also pose a bit of a challenge. I'm just looking for something that says it is a gate. Straight with wall, no posts. So I could use these, but they are like graveyard textures, I believe. There's a bit of a gate there. Oh, they don't have to be graveyard. There's a large gate one, but that would mean that I'd make a bit of a dead end there. I'm not sure what I really want to make here. There's some more graveyard stuff. Maybe there's another one with the gate. It doesn't look like it, because I do believe this is the end. Oh, maybe a coffee shop? It doesn't really fit with the diagonal, does it? I think these, because let's just look at what they look like. Right. These are extensions for the park set, by the way. So we have also this one. And the nice thing about them, is that they fit with some versions of this park set, some extensions, some other extensions. This one has a bunch of really bright red lines, which might look cool, I don't know. Okay, and this is a 1x3 kind of thing. So yeah, these just look pretty cool, but the potential downside is that their park path textures are of a specific type, which is the sandy one, I believe. And I do believe I have that set installed. Let's just look at this. Yeah, so I can make something with that. And I think it's alright to use that. This looks... yeah, so you could really make a pretty interesting looking little area with that. But it's not really possible to fit those things in here, I think. Maybe I'm just trying to be too cheeky with it. Playground over there, maybe. Let's just make something cozy. So there's a diagonal transition here. Okay, for some reason it was being a bit derpy. So I can't make it flush diagonally, it looks like. I might have some other diagonals that maybe work better. Let's just look what this, see what this looks like. Okay. Yeah, so that means that you'd have to use that one on the other side, which looks super derpy. So I have to keep it one back. It might still work. Right, over here. Then let's use the diagonals to just make something. For some reason it won't place it. It might be that it... Don't know what's going on there. Let's try dezoning. Maybe there's some invisible thing going on. Because these shouldn't be... It looks a bit bad, the way this hangs over the road. So I guess I won't be doing that. Might be different diagonals. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I just don't do anything like that. I think I'll just use some plants or whatever to cover that up. Or to cover it up. That sounds like it's something ugly that needs to be covered up. I think I want to connect over here. I don't know how much sense it makes, but I guess I'm doing a connection over here, so why not just do something like that, and then maybe something like that. Just make a bit of a plaza area around here. So I said plaza area. Let's first of all, because I forgot to do, I didn't do a street add-on mod texture there. It's either dirt or I think the gravel looks better actually. Although it might look weird next to the canal. Does make a bunch more sense, I think. I'm not sure how much sense it makes that it goes all the way to the edge of the map. Like that. So maybe I'll just stop it over there. I don't know. So I'm a bit distracted again by that. So there's a decision to be made. And the question here is, do I want all of this to be the same street add-on mod kind of thing? Or do I want one for this area and one for that area? I don't know. I haven't used this one yet, so... Well, I have used it at some point in the past, but not in this city. Or even this region, I think. This connection looks a bit weird, so I'm gonna use a road to make a bit of a better crossing there. And I think that looks a bit better, but that's just me. Yeah, so I'm just clicking on these tiles and it makes the game recalculate what sand texture it's gonna be using, which helps me replace the sand texture. Over here, I don't know why it's doing this. So I'll just delete this. Okay, that's not what I wanted, I think. Yeah, okay, let's just go. I don't know why I did that. Can I even make a connection, something like that? Maybe? It's a bit weird. And that does seem to work, but I'm wondering whether... Wow, that looks mega derpy. Okay, that froze my game for a bit. Okay, ooh, pretty close. I'll just delete some of this shit. Sorry, I said shit. Stuff. Maybe I'll cut out that I said shit. I don't know. I said it again when I said I was gonna cut it out. Well, I hope my language doesn't offend anyone. Okay, this might be what I'm looking for. Maybe I want to start over here. Yes, okay. So if my language offended anyone, I'm sorry, I guess, but yeah, I am sorry if I offend people, but I also think people shouldn't be offended all the time. Don't take everything so personal and serious. Don't take yourself too serious. That's maybe one of the most important things. Your own problems and things. I don't know. Your preferences and stuff. Don't force them onto others, I think would be good advice. Especially if like you have like co-workers and you find people annoying or whatever. I think it's probably better to just look in the mirror and think about why why you're even bothered by stuff. Why do you feel the need to be bothered? Because I've had some co-workers who were just always complaining about this other co-worker. And he was just generally a nice dude. It's just that he wasn't as fast at some of the stuff. And he was a bit more methodical, which made, it caused him to take a little bit extra time at some of the things he was doing. And people started complaining about it, but yeah, I don't know what their problem was. I guess they just were insecure people, which I think we're all a bit insecure at times. I think it's normal to be insecure. If you're never insecure, then I think you might need to think about stuff a bit more. Because I don't know. I don't think it's good to be insecure. But I do think it's normal to be insecure, because life is a whole bunch of randomness. And to feel secure means that you I don't know. I guess it's good to feel secure, but if you're always feeling secure, then you might just be blind to the challenges of life. I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to be smart or whatever, but I think I'm being pretty dumb in the things that I'm saying. And I don't want to encourage you to feel insecure. But if you do feel insecure, don't feel bad about it. We all feel insecure. And don't make other people the victim of your insecurity. I think it's maybe I held the don't make other people the victim of your own insecurity. I think that's how most of bullying starts. It's just people who have their own problems and can't find the right ways to cope with them, and find somebody who stands out a bit or whatever, and they just use. I'm just trying to be random now. I think even feeling the need to bully someone, to put somebody in a lower hierarchy than you, I think is what is generally what people attempt to do, to feel more important or bigger than another person. I think it's you're just making an illusion, because you're not important. Nobody is important. Well, okay, I think in some sense you are important, but you're not so important that that it's right for you to make other people feel unimportant. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I do think it's important that it's normal to feel insecure, but it's not normal to make other people the victim of your insecurities. If you have a problem with feeling secure, then you should fix it for yourself and not make other people the victim of your own feelings. I don't know. Just don't like bullying or bullies. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about why people tend to bully. And I do think it has a bit to do with having a reputation and having people look up to you, and feeling like you're an important part of a group. And yeah, I don't know, if you're insecure about whether people like you or not, and people liking you, it's like an indication of if something were to happen, for some reason there'd be a life-threatening situation, and if people don't like you, somewhere in the back of your mind you see that as a risk of somebody not helping you out when you really need it. And I guess having people like you is important to people. It's important to me as well, because we need people to get through this life. We can't do it on our own. But yeah, I think bullying someone often has to do with gaining other people's trust or respect, I guess. But respect is just, I don't know. I think respect is a pretty dumb thing to need in people. If people don't respect you, yeah, just whatever. Who cares? Just love yourself. You can't control what other people think or what other people feel. But you can at least choose what you think and feel about other people. And I think that's the only responsibility you have to take about your reputation and stuff. The choices that you make. And not whether other people like you or not. I don't know. We don't really live in a world anymore where you need where you need a ton of other people just to survive. I don't know. I don't think you should make friends because you need them to survive. I think if you need them to survive, I guess you should. Because surviving is better than dying. But I think it's better to have friends because you just enjoy being around them, and I think the most important thing about having friends is that you have someone to share your ideas and thoughts with. And I think that's important because we all have ideas and thoughts, and not all of those ideas and thoughts are actually useful or good for us. Some of them are not true, and if you don't share them with friends, then we're never going to be able to find out which of the ideas and thoughts that we have are useful for us. And you might just end up in a situation where you just have all these ideas about the world, and it might be very harmful if your view of the world is very misguided. At least that's how I think about it. I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. I don't know why I'm talking about these things and how I got to talking about them. But anyways, I hope you like this little neighborhood over here. Let's see if the diagonal houses will grow, because that's always a thing. Yeah, it starts with it might be a land value thing though. Nope, I think some of them grew. Now it's some diagonal houses. I'm just gonna maybe keep these, because this is a diagonal house, right? So that's I think they look very nice, but you have to make them all historical. And somehow I have to keep track which ones you did make historical and which ones you didn't. So I'm just gonna go block by block here. And I think, even though these aren't diagonal, I think they do fit in with the same style. That's a weird little query. So this one also fits in with the style, so I'll keep that. I'll do this block now. I think I did those. No, I did not do this. I did do that one. So I'll keep that one as well. Oh, that's a 2x1 now, because there was 2 areas. And these are, I believe, vanilla homes. I don't like those too much. Didn't do that bit yet. I think I like that one. The downside of doing it like this is that they're always gonna stay at low wealth residential. So I might not do this too thoroughly, so there's a bit of a chance of there popping up some not so low wealth. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep these ones non-historical and just see how they develop. And I remember now that I did a difference between the way I zoned these, and now I'm just making them historical, which means that they won't develop into the wall-to-wall ones, but whatever. I'm not here to be a scientist about how to best place diagonal wall-to-wall buildings. I'm just here to do a little bit of a build. There's another one with a weird query. I can't see what this is, so I'm just gonna not make it historical. I think this would look kinda nice with the outline being small homes and the inner part being the wall-to-wall stuff. I think I'm not gonna make this. Oh, I already started it. I might as well continue it then. Just doing the ones. Oh, maybe that one looks nice. 22 Main Street. And I did not do that one yet either. Alright, let's just see what grows here. Who grows there? I'm not sure how the land value over here is like affected by it being very sparse in terms of density. I guess the land value is at its capacity here. There's a bunch of these dark spots. That might either be air pollution. It looks like air pollution does have a thing to play in that part, but it's definitely also crime. And the crime might be because I don't have enough jail capacity. And I do remember building a police station. Oh yeah, over here. Okay, number of cells. It's not at capacity, so it should mean that that's alright. So I don't know exactly what is causing all this crime. Maybe it's not that bad. Let's just look at the graph and compare it to, like, yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, it's pretty bad. I don't know how to. I think it's also a factor of education. But I'm just gonna let this grow for a bit. Maybe I'll just. Oh, I have power problems. So let's look at the power graph. Oh, it's not really a problem yet. Let's see if it's. Oh, I think this jiggly line is because of the waste to power facility that I have, which is, I believe. Is it this? No, it should be. Yeah, this is the waste to power facility. And that depends on the amount of waste that you are able to burn. And over here I have these two geothermal power plants, which are a bit of a cheat because they cost the same as a coal power plant, but they don't really do pollution. So yeah, if you have a problem with that, whatever. You don't have to copy these things, and I don't think it's okay. If you're playing the game for the challenge, then it would be a cheat, but I've played the game for the challenge so many times already that the challenge isn't really challenging for me anymore. So I find the more interesting part of this game is in making interesting builds. So I combined these two geothermals over here to make one big one, which also means that it doesn't really fit to put another one over there. But it does make sense to keep these geothermal plants near industrial areas, I think. Also might make sense to keep it a bit near water. Yeah, near like the lake or whatever. But this looks super weird if I just plop it back there. So I'm a bit thinking, I'm just overthinking it right now. At this point I'm just overthinking it. I guess I could either remove this and just put another two over there. I think I kinda like that idea. So I'm just gonna do that. That means that I need to find another good spot for a waste, or not waste, but yeah, power treatment, or water treatment. I don't know why I said power. I guess I had my thoughts mixed up a little bit. And I do think it makes sense to have these near the water, but that's maybe just because we used to have one near the water where I grew up. So this seems like a good spot, even though it's like right next to a bunch of residences and stuff. I think it looks alright there. Could just at some point, okay, it's already connected to, and I think my pumping stations are over there too. Let's see. Yeah, they're over here. Yeah, so there's no risk of polluting the water. That's how the water pollution works, by the way. It's really only impactful. It has an impact on land value, I guess, but its main impact is if it hits your sources of water, then it ends up, oh, this looks kind of nice with these small shops there. Yeah, then it causes your water to become polluted and shuts down the facility, which makes it so that you have a lack of water supply for your city, and it might escalate into a lot of abandonment. I'm not sure what to do with this area yet. I think I'll leave that for another time, maybe. Over here I think a farmhouse makes sense, and I think it might make most sense to have a farmhouse like that. I make these 4x4. I think I'll make it a 5 or a 6 even. I do know there's some bigger farmhouses in the stuff that I downloaded. I'll just fill this in. Okay. Yeah, so there's a bit of a farm there. I think I'll do a bit of a farm maybe over here. So I still need to get a road going over here, and for that road I also need to still get a bridge going. I wonder if you can do something like that. I don't know where it starts to be flat. I think I want something like that. Maybe I can, yeah. So now I have like 2 spots. I think actually it makes sense to just do this. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know why I didn't show that at first. I've noticed at some point that bridges don't like to be built next to each other, so I'm keeping a gap there. I guess it makes sense to just continue this line a bit. Okay, I don't want streets there. I don't know if that's gonna dirt me out, so I just don't want to take the risk. Let's just start like that, something like that, right? I'm gonna have to smooth this out over here at some point. I think I want the road to just continue straight. For now, I might just change it at some point. It's very easy in this game to just bulldoze something you've built and to change it to something that is more to your liking. I mean, this is going straight now. I might make it a bit of a zigzag and have it end up somewhere over there or something like that, but for now that's fine. And let's see if this wants to be a bridge already. It does not. So what tends to help then is to just bulldoze some of these things and maybe try now. Yeah, so it does want to be a bridge. I'm trying to rotate the camera. Yes, page down helped. It's not high enough for ferries. Wait, what? It needs to be that high for ferries? Maybe it changes per bridge type. I could do another one of these, right? I wonder what the other one looks like in terms of the how far the blocks. Yeah, it really is flush with the blocks. Maybe I don't care about ferries, since let's just think about it, right? This is pretty much the edge of the whole region, so it doesn't really matter. Does this look cool? Maybe? No. Looks a bit weird actually, because this has just these 2 foundation things, and this suddenly has like 3. I always have trouble figuring out what the coolest looking. Oh, these do kind of line up nicely. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with this one. I'm just gonna overthink it if I don't just make a decision like that, and it's not worth it. It's just a bridge. We're barely ever gonna be staring at this bridge anyways, so it's fine. Over here, yeah, over here we have this bit of a mess. Let's see if we can smooth that out. I'm not sure if this is doing it. I think it's not doing it actually. Okay, would that help? Yes, okay. Nice. Looks a bit more like a normal road now. This is a pedestrian or a yeah, I'm not sure what you'd call that. People station? I sound like a robot when I say people station. Yeah, it's a people station. It's people work. I think I'll do some of this stuff over here. Maybe try to make an interesting shape over in the corner. So let's just start by putting one of them down. And again, I'm trying, well again, I didn't mention it this video, but I'm trying to be a bit random about this, right? But I'm also trying to keep like a 2 gap, because that lets you place the trees in between a bit more easy. And let's just do something like that. They don't always have to look like a blob. Something like that maybe. And then let's just do a little bit of a thing over there. And then try a big one over here. Let's just do a big one. And make it like... This is gonna be owned by some guy who's trying to buy up those other farms, so you can make his like nice little mega factory for milk or whatever. And I guess I'll do another one that's a bit bigger. I think I'll do just something like that. And this kind of farm's near a real idea. It's somewhat inspired by a place my brother used to live. I used to go there by train. Okay, there's some annoying little... let's just make it something like that. I used to go there by train, and yeah, you always saw the farms from the train when arriving in the town. I think I'm just gonna do something with pet moles here to see if that alleviates the annoyingness. Let's see if they stay invisible, so that's fine. I'm not running this at max speed yet. Needs aid. Is there a problem with the amount of hospital access? No. Why would they say that? Oh, there's educators that have problems. What is this about? Oh, pollution. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I have some educators that are not being happy. It's a joke in this school. Yeah, that's a thing about the game. I guess it's somewhat realistic, but whenever you make a new area, the demand for elementary schools is a lot higher, and then as the area grows over time, as people grow older, they go into high school. I guess it's realistic, so I don't think I want to complain too much about it. But I do think it would be more realistic in some ways if it just gave an estimation of the amount of school space you would need. I don't know if that's really... Okay, so the pet mod thing didn't work out too well yet, but I might have a trick up my sleeve. No, I don't know. Let's just do something stupid over here. And the problem with this is that I won't be able to put any plants or whatever on the pet mod pieces, and I won't be able to put fences around there to decorate it. Maybe giving them some water access might also help. And now I think my coffee is gonna get cold, so I'm just gonna pour myself some more coffee before it's all cold like. Oh! What now? I've never seen one farm replacing the other without destroying the first farm. That's a new thing for me. I'm just gonna dezone these two bits. That looks super weird. Is this really... And why is this being... It's a bit annoying that it's being like this. Maybe if I zone this one, it will also do that thing. Even kijken. Sorry, that was Dutch. It means let's have a little look. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Oh, let's have a look at these. I like it when these kinds of rows, when there's a diagonal one over there. Bit of a shame that it isn't a diagonal houses, but whatever. I think it looks sufficiently nice and weird from... Oh, no. Okay, they do have a quarry. At some point I had installed some houses that didn't have a quarry. And I think that was because I didn't install all the dependencies. Since then I did install them. It's a bit hard to click these things for some reason. And I think I'm actually taking way too long to do this build already. I don't know. It's really hard for me to... Yeah, see, it's... it's for some reason it wants to click the road. Okay, maybe these are just bugged. Okay, for some reason it's being very weird. I guess what they did is make the building part a prop. So you need to know where like the... and then use a dummy building as the building. So what you see as the building is a prop. And that way I guess they could make the buildings be random or have some variations to it. Well, the creator did that probably. And then they have a dummy building beneath it. And so this is one of the wall-to-walls. Here's another one. The diagonal wall-to-walls, I mean. Yeah, so they made a dummy thingy. Well, I think it's called a dummy building, which is basically like an invisible box or something. Because when you make a zoning lot or whatever, it does need to have like a building model. And so they made a building model that is like invisible, or at least invisible to us. It might be like hidden underneath the prop part of the building. And since building models are less flexible than prop models, that allows you to have some extra options in designing your buildings. So it's kind of nice that there's some wall-to-wall. It would be nice if this just fills up with wall-to-wall, though I do not want to spend too much time making these historical. Okay, this just derped out. I'm just gonna dezone whatever says that they need car access. Oh. It's being a bit weird. It's being super weird because it's like a third type. Okay, I'm just gonna dezone this whole thing. and make a new one. I don't like it when it's being weird. So I'm gonna make a farmhouse over here. I'll just do a 4 by whatever. And maybe make it like that. So I guess I guess the game doesn't like it when you make irregular shapes. This is super funky, but I like it. I like it because it's interesting and it shows something about the game that I didn't know, and I still don't know. But there's some weird interaction going on over there. So this is all the farms I'm gonna build, and this is the little neighborhood that I built. It's not all the farms I'm gonna build, period, because I'm gonna be maybe doing some more small farms around here in the next episode. Maybe do some decorating in the next episode. Maybe look for a race that I can make this look cool with some maybe custom backyard stuff or whatever. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens in the next episode. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to see you again. Goodbye.